Hi everyone, I'm Heide Lang and welcome to another segment of Find Your Inner Gourmet. Today we're going to talk about vinegar and how to make a perfect salad dressing. In our last segment, we talked about olive oil and other kinds of oils, and today we're going to focus more on, again, the other building blocks of making a salad, but we will be using olive oil as the base for our dressing. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about vinegar. How important is vinegar? Well, it's very important when you're making a dressing because it will very much affect the taste of a salad. What kinds of vinegars are there to choose from? Of course, there's basic table vinegar, white vinegar. My mom told me when she came to this country in the 1950s that was pretty much the only thing that was available, and sometimes red wine vinegar. But we are lucky to live in the 21st century where there's so many great choices. So let's get started on making a simple salad dressing today. Remember, you can dress up this salad in any way you want. You could add interesting cheeses to it by shaving with a peeler, or you can add some nuts. We love to add toasted walnuts to our salads, or toasted almonds sometimes, or even pecans. We also add dry fruits and sometimes even fresh fruits that are seared a little bit. But let's just keep it simple right now and give you the basics. So we have our olive oil to begin with, and today I think we're going to use a Pinot Grigio dressing. It's springtime here in Connecticut, so I thought that would be a nice way to start. First I'm going to tell you the most important thing you're probably going to learn from this video, and that's the ratio. It's a sort of a secret, another one of those little chef secrets that may seem mysterious to all of us until we know it, and that is the ratio for making salad dressing. The ratio is always 3 to 1. So let's say you have 1/3 of a cup of vinegar. That means you'll have a cup of olive oil. So 1/3 of a cup times 3, of course, is 1 cup. So we're going to take 1/3 of a cup of the vinegar. I'm going to measure 1/3 of a cup of the vinegar. And then we're going to add a little mustard to it. Why are we going to do that? We are going to emulsify this a little bit so that it is slightly thicker so it doesn't separate. You know how oil and vinegar always separates? We kind of like to keep it mixed. So one trick to do that, just like when you're making mayonnaise, is to add a little vinegar. So we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of vinegar, mustard. And if we need to add more, we always can. We're going to mix that up a little bit. And then we're going to take 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt, depending on your particular taste. So we can add some kosher salt, or you can add sea salt as well. 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. People ask me sometimes when we're cooking in classes, Heidi, do you measure at home? Well, the answer to that is it really depends on my state of mind. Also depends on what I'm making. If I haven't made something yet, absolutely. Why should I take a chance of it not being right? I want to know what the parameters are the first time. But also if I'm tired, or a bit distracted, or Francesca, our 6-year-old, is running around, I want to make sure that I get it right. So I will often use measuring spoons. Sometimes though, when I've made something 20 times, I don't need to. But in classes, I always do, and there's nothing wrong with it. When you watch these shows, people are taking a dash of this and a dash of that. That's for someone who's been cooking for a really long time and cooking daily. So I strongly suggest using measuring spoons and measuring cups until you've made a meal many, many times. Okay, so here we have our olive oil, and we're going to drizzle this. Sometimes recipes will tell you to put a teaspoon at a time. You're not going to stand here for 20 minutes making a salad dressing. So we're just going to do a steady spoon. Okay? And as you'll see, it will thicken as we go. You see how it's cloudy? That means it's being emulsified. It's exactly, as I said, what we do when we make mayonnaise. Only the difference is we don't have to worry about this breaking the way we do with mayonnaise. That's for another class though. All right, here we go. So, if I'm using this dressing right away, I will pour this immediately as it's thickened. And oh, by the way, we have some nice fresh thyme from the garden, and so we're going to add that in. Any herb you like, as I said, and this is when we would also add some toasted walnuts, or anything else. We're going to add some fresh fruits or anything. And there you have it, a lovely, lovely dressing. If I'm not going to use this right away, I'll put some clear wrap around this, put on the side until my guests come. Don't put it in the refrigerator if you're going to use it within an hour or so, because the oil will start to harden, and then you'll have to leave it out to defrost. So I'm just going to go over you one more time some of the oils some of the vinegars we often used. Here, we talked a little bit earlier about balsamic vinegar. This is the only one where the ratio doesn't always apply because it's a little bit sweeter. So you might add an extra 20% or so of the vinegar to it. You'll have to play with that depending on how you like it to taste. This only has an acidity of 4.6%, so you see the difference. And next, this is the one we just used. It's a Pinot Grigio vinegar, and it has I think it's a 7% acidity rate, so a little bit higher. After that, we have, this is actually a little bit lower, it's champagne vinaigrette, which we often use when we're having a light meal. This is 6%, so really light, much less tart. And then here is here's a doozy. It's 8% sherry vinegar. We use this when we make Spanish meals and we're having a little bit of salad on the side. It just gives a very dramatic taste, but it does have a high acidity, so you might add a little more oil. And then last but not least, we often use a white balsamic vinegar, which is delicious and light, and is probably similar to the champagne vinaigrette in terms of acidity. It's probably a little bit more acidic than the darker balsamic vinegar. And if you're really daring, try some rice vinegar with some sesame oil, and you'll have a wonderful Asian style dressing. If you're really, really ambitious, go and look at some really fancy ones. This is a spicy pecan vinegar that we picked up, and here is a D'Angelo pear vinegar. There's so many out there. A great place to try new things is at the discount stores like Marshall's, places like that. They often have overstocks from fancy stores. It's a great place to pick up a nice vinegar or olive oil at a good price. So there you have it. Here's our oil. The ratio, just to keep in mind, is 3-to-1. And I hope you enjoyed this segment of Find Your Inner Gourmet. I'm Heide Lang. I can't wait to join you next time. Bye-bye.